is Mujalifa. Welcome to another episode of the Erudition show. I'm here with Justice Sambo. He will introduce the guest.
Thanks, Mujalifa. As we have said, for season 2, we are bringing you exciting changes. You can see the scenery behind us. We are somewhere at the rooftop. Season 2 is really all about getting closer to the people, connecting with the people, and getting to the root of where conversations are being held. Today, I have an exciting guest who I need to read his bio. He was born on the 16th of February in 1997. That was in Standerton. He was raised in F.O.C.U.S by way of Bethel. His name is Sandile, who represents a myriad of South African experiences and emotions through his music. So his stage name is F.O.C.U.S. He developed the love for music at the age of 6. Imagine, at such a young age, developing the love of music. He would compose his own incoherent kwaito songs that he would rap to himself in the mirror. you know those when you're in the mirror in the bathroom and then you start doing things. That's what he used to do.
What things?
So he did songwriting and performance as his primary coping mechanism for as long as he has been able to do it. Having spent most of his life at the east of Johannesburg, which is the electric mix that makes up culture, and it's the great source of inspiration for him as an artist, But as a kid, he grew up in the information age and global world. Guys, the bio is just amazing, So that's why even in Zulu, I believe it said kia klagegega. Stop there, So but then it was merely few clicks away, and it was impossible to escape for a budding artist. Wow, guys. So his name goes by Sandile, as I've said, and his stage name is F.O.C.U.S. So F.O.C.U.S, tell us about yourself. What does F.O.C.U.S mean? What does the word mean? Where does it even come from? What is the inspiration behind the name?
Okay, so F.O.C.U.S is, my stage name. So that's me as an artist. And the way it began actually is a combination of two things. One, at the beginning, there was one facet of it I liked very much, which was, growing up, my favorite artist was Lil Wayne, favorite rapper. So his nickname is Weezy.
With Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
I had Lorraine. I had Wayne.
Okay, so Lil Wayne, right?
Yeah.
And that's Weezy. So, and then also, when I was a kid, there was a point in time where my mom was like, Yazin, she was tired of sending me to the barbershop. So what she did was she bought clippers, machine. And then actually I remember grade 5 is the first time she actually sat my brother down and she cut our hair in the backyard.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't have any problem with it because I didn't know better.
Yeah.
So the Monday, because I used transport to go to school, Monday I get in the transport, immediately people are on me. heavy, and they're like, yeah, I'm not going to scared. That's how, and then that became, Caesar.
Oh,
Caesar. So,
okay.
That's the half of it. The other half is Weezy was my favorite rapper. So when I started actually writing down raps that made sense to me at the time, CZ, so it was, where he would say Weezy, I would replace it with an S because my name starts with an S. And then those two things then combined to where when I started coming into my own as a rapper, I went under Caesar until 2000 and I want to say 18 is when I released with a friend of mine called Thomas Hazy. We released an EP called Born Free-ish, and that was my first official release as an artist, and that's when I decided to change it to just C's, and then that's how C's came into being.
That sounds like one of those gone wrong stories changed into some good vibe,
Yeah. Like I couldn't shake it, so I just embraced it.
Yeah.
And that's how we're here today.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I think one thing that I'm learning so far from you, from that, is that sometimes you gotta embrace your lowest moments. Embrace that and make something beautiful out of it. I mean, like usually they say that when glass falls, it breaks, but those breaks, if you put them together, they can make something beautiful. And that's one thing that I just got from you.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. I actually did, like, fun fact, I did try to look for a more serious rap name. I
Yeah.
was like, who's gonna take this seriously? And then I just kept searching and searching for one and I couldn't find it. So that's
Yeah.
how I know I was meant to use this name as well. Because for a long time, it wasn't my official rap name, it was just my nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I embraced it also.
Beautiful.
So, okay, there's one of the other things that you said that what is this one particular thing that I like compared to all of the other things? And you said that when you can check it, you embrace it. So I feel like that's also how I deal with like
Deal with things,
yeah,
situations. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, okay, I have a question for you. So according to the bio, I think that you started music, or you started rather loving music at the age of 6. Like, what sparked the love? What sparked the love for music?
Mm, I can just say, initially it was the love of listening to music and admiring my favorite artists. 'Cause to me, the people that were making music at the time were like, I can almost say they were like superheroes to me, you know? And I wasn't a kid who was very social, still aren't very, still aren't very social. I don't know what kind of English that is. Yeah, but so, so things that I did in my spare time was I listened to a lot of music. And at the time in South Africa, the people that were popular for making music were white artists.
Yeah.
Right? So Mandoza, Zola, those kind of people, and that's the music that I grew closer to and I developed an attachment for. And so initially I just liked these guys. I just thought these guys that were making music were out of this world. And that's what made me fall in love with listening to it. Okay? And then once I started falling in love with listening to it at an early age, naturally you want to replicate or you want to do what your heroes are doing. So I remember like actually catching with Tommy Silvaselli. So after taking a bath and I was rapping into the mirror. But I wasn't really saying anything but swear words because that's what I heard the rappers say. And I remember she called me and I got embarrassed by that. But those are like early memories of me falling in love with music. And I wouldn't say my family is overly musical, but like most of them are either into choir music. Like most of my family from both sides actually, they're into choral music and weekends because like the kids don't control the TV. So what you hear is gospel time. You hear Imizulili, all of that. Like sometimes you hated it, but you couldn't escape it. Like you literally couldn't escape it. So like from an early age, there was music playing every time. Like we'd go somewhere with my aunt, she'd have Uring or like you do with those kind of people playing, and it was always a part of my life. And it was very easy for me to grow attached to it because I was always an introvert as a kid.
So Njevele, when us were busy in the bathroom bathing, when you are busy playing music and listening to music, making music.
Even to this day, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I can't shower without music playing.
Yeah.
Can't walk around without earphones.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always have to have music.
Yeah. Just for the interest of the viewers, what kind of music do you make? Which genre are you into?
It's a very difficult question to answer. I would say so far the music that's accessible to people that I've put out has been hip hop, but new age hip hop. So I'm part of the generation of artists that aren't boxed into okay, you are a conscious rapper, you make conscious hip hop, or you are a trap. That's what they call it, right? A trap artist, you make trap, or you are an R&B singer. You sing R&B because I've realized that I can do all of that, and I want to do all of that, and I want to mix all three of those elements. So you have the rap, like hip hop. So what people would categorize as conscious hip hop, which is the hip hop that's slowed down and has a lot more substance to it compared to what's mainstream, but also bringing in the new age sound.
Yeah.
So things like hard hitting trap type beats as well. I try to incorporate that into my music as well because at the end of the day I have an audience, and it's my duty to entertain you as well as spread whatever message I'm sending out. So it would be disingenuous for me to prioritize maybe the message over the entertainment value of what you're listening to. And then I also have soulful elements to it, like the vocals and things like that. So all of those mix to make the type of music I make.
So I'm wondering if you are the one who create the music, or do you have a team, or rather do you have someone who helps you create the music?
No, the only team I have is 3 people actually. It's me, it's myself, and I. Nah, as far as the music goes, writing the song is me coming up with the song concept. So I write the song. What then happens is I can't produce, right?
Yeah.
Make beats.
Yeah.
So I get a beat either online or I get a beat from a person I know who's a producer. After that, then everything else is me. I record myself, mix myself, engineer myself, do my own covers for the artwork. I do edit my own videos that have come out. I'm working with other people on other things, but so far everything that's come out is me.
So with all the things that you mentioned, editing and all other things, like did you learn them somewhere, or did you go to a formal educational institution, or just by your spare time you managed to gather such information?
No, I went to the School of Technology. Like, the school of, like I said in my bio, the information age, We're at a point in time where information has never been more accessible. So if you have something that you need to learn, it really came out of necessity. I was at a point where I was like, okay, I want to start making my own music. Can't afford studio time, so let me learn how to record myself. Okay, I've learned how to record myself. Damn, I can't afford to get this engineered and get it sounding like a radio, like a CD quality. Okay, let me learn, and go and you learn. So every time I needed something done, I had to learn how to do it myself, because that also empowers me. As I own the means of production. I am the means of production for the business that I'm running, the music business that I'm running. So yeah. So along the way, I just learned online, and I got what I could. Still learning as I go.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think is F.O.C.U.S an album?
It's an extended play.
Okay. You just released that, right?
Yeah, in April.
Awesome. So tell us about the inspiration behind it. Where is the inspiration coming from? Because from what I've heard, it has some conscious stuff on there.
Yeah.
And it has a bit of your journey on there.
Yeah.
So tell us about the inspiration behind it.
So the inspiration came from the first song I ever wrote for it was Control. So Control is the second song on the extended play. It features a friend of mine, Surprise. He's also a person that I make a lot of music with. A person who helped me on my journey to start taking music seriously. And I wrote that song last year, I want to say June. Okay. So when I wrote that song, I hadn't had the thought of, okay, I'm gonna have an extended play. I always knew that I wanted to have my first project out end of 2018, beginning of 2019. So, but I didn't know what it was gonna be. At the time, I thought it was gonna be another project. So, worked on that song, and I was like, okay. So the song speaks a lot about my journey, coming to terms with the fact that things might not go 100% perfect in life, or the way you want them to go. Sometimes you might be out of touch or out of grips with what's going on with yourself as well. Being self-aware about where you are emotionally, where you are mentally, and what you want out of life. So that's how that song came into being, and I thought, okay, this is an idea. I can actually expound on this idea through a body of work. And then that's how I started writing the project that was to be known as Focus, where every song expanded on that idea. So I have the Focus intro, which details how I lost, my focus. Focus in terms of, okay, what direction do I want my life to go in? How do I want to go about that? What do I want to achieve? Where am I now on that path to those things? And then you go into control, which is, okay, now that I've realized where I need to go, let me, gain control of my current situation so that I can move forward. And then you go into the No interlude, which is the anthem for all the lover boys, the anthem for all the guys in people's DMs and all of that, which is, it speaks about a person wanting to know the truth about their situation and where they stand with this girl, and then that goes into songs that I wrote for the youth and our mindset now as young people that are out to get cash, get the bag. Drip Too Cold, which is a braggadocious, affirming, it's a self-confident song, go into that. There's a song called Rest on there, which is just about putting your head down and working hard, and then we finish it off with Conversations, which is a spiritual song. It's a song about me, questioning my own spirituality, questioning things that have happened on my journey there, reaffirming where I stand on a spiritual level, and giving thanks to God for putting me on the path that He's put me on, and for me in realizing, okay, this is how things need to be. That's how we conclude it.
So the whole EP, extended playlist, right?
Yeah.
The whole EP, is it you giving a glimpse of your story? You said it's based on an idea, so I just wanted to understand whether this idea was because of your own personal journey,
okay.
or maybe it's because of just an idea.
Both, actually. So that's usually how my music goes. It could be 10% to about 50% of whatever I discuss is specific and real to me. So Control was specific and real to me. And then I said, okay, I can tell my own story and my journey, as well as capture what the rest of my generation and people my age are feeling as well, like the things that we deal with. And I can use my music to speak on both my own issues and the issues affecting everyone else as well. So yeah, it's both.
Okay. Great stuff. Okay, I have two questions. I hope that's not weird.
That's a random thing to say.
Quite random.
Okay. The first one, you said something about questioning your spirituality. Yeah, I want you to please go further into that and explain what you mean. And the second question is, what is your, who is your target? Like your music, who does your music target? Is it targeted to young children, youth, old people? Like, who is your target?
Okay. So you want me to expand? Okay, what specifically do you want to know about the spiritual journey or the spiritual experience? Like, what is that?
Or actually the experience, because you said questioning.
Oh, okay. So with the questioning aspect, I think I ran into what a lot of people run into as they grow, as you become curious, as you start seeing things outside of the world that you grew up in, as your parents or your family starts losing the grip they had on the things that you get exposed to. So you start getting all ideas. You start getting all ideas. So things like, okay, these people don't believe in a God. These people believe in this God. These people believe this and that. What do I believe? What informs my beliefs? Do I believe what I believe because I think what I believe is right? Or is it another reason? If it's another reason, does that sit well with me? Do I really believe that the things I'm doing and saying are sincere if I'm only doing it out of fear? Or should I? And I needed a stronger base for, because I couldn't reconcile it in myself to say, I'm going to just proclaim the fact that I believe in God out of fear, because at the end of the day, you can't fool God. You can't perform your faith while knowing deep down that it's not based on. Personally, that was my personal experience. Like I couldn't perform a faith that was not based on a strong spiritual relationship with God, and it was so that whole song actually speaks about the first verse goes into okay, I've had conversations with God and what I believe are conversations with God, and that's where I base my spirituality and saying God exists in my life. I've felt His presence. There's been times where I've needed Him and He pulled through for me, and I had no other explanation than to say, okay, someone out there is looking out for me, that type of thing. So then that became rooted in the more I tried to connect with Him, is the more I actually felt positive about my life. I realized that you can't do this alone, and there's something to having faith in someone, and there's something to knowing that the whole, this is not on your shoulders alone, and you're not alone, and you actually feel that someone out there is looking out for you, and that's where I based my faith. And so the song Conversations is literally me just delving into that experience and that journey into song.
And my second question.
So what was your second? Who was my target audience? So my target audience, I would say primarily young people. Okay, so, but if I'm gonna generalize it, it's just people that are looking for music that has a message, but is also nice to listen to at the same time. So so every song I make has a message, even if it's like a party song, even if it's upbeat. If you listen to what I'm saying, and if you internalize what I'm saying, there's a message to it, and there's something that I'm actually trying to say all the time.
Would you say that you love
Yeah.
There's something that he said, which I just wanted to make reference to our viewers, that he got to a point where he had to question his beliefs. Like, am I believing this because another person told me to believe it? Am I believing this out of fear? Why am I believing what I believe in? I think that's something that as a viewer you need to take everything that you believe in, whether that be religion, I can't think of any other thing, but whatever beliefs you have, like politics and all of those things, and gender, yes. Are you believing them because another person told you so? Is it because another voice told you so? Or is it because you really believe in that? And why are you believing in the things that you're believing? I have one last question for you. What is your favorite quote from yourself? Like from maybe the songs that you have written?
I think I would say it's a song called "I Lost My Focus" on the Focus EP. It says, "I'm not a gambling man, but I would put $1 billion on God."
You put $1 billion on God.
Yeah. So it's basically I'm not a man who gambles, but if I was to gamble, I would put $1 billion on God coming through for me, and that's what's screaming out at me right now.
Yeah.
So, okay, one question that I have: are you a student?
Yeah, currently. Yes.
Okay, so I'm interested to know that how do you balance between studying and music?
Yeah. So right now, actually, I'm not actively recording music, and that's part of the balance. So right now, as September 2019, I've prioritized the academic side of it, and I'm not actively recording. I can never stop writing music. I can never stop, coming up with ideas and things. So I already have ideas for what I'm dropping or doing next year, but right now, actively, I'm not recording music, and that's part of how I balance things. Is I prioritize what needs to be done when, and I develop a timetable and a schedule. So every week, literally, my time is meticulously divided into, okay, on Wednesday, this is what I do, on Thursday, this is what I do, and everything has time allocated to it according to how much time I feel something needs. So if I have an easy week academically, I can say, okay, Friday I don't have class that I'm going to. I can use that time to record this specific song. And then I can say, okay, on Saturday, I can study until 7 o'clock, and then after 7, I'm engineering. After 7, I'm mixing. So that's how I balance. I just divide my time accordingly.
So, say right now I have lost focus by myself, right? And I want to listen to your gems, to your wisdom, from your EP.
Yeah.
How do I get hold of that?
So it's either you go through my social media accounts, which is Sad Boy Seas on everything, or you go on SoundCloud. So I've made my music accessible so far. The next release I have will be on major digital stores, but so far I wanted my journey to happen in one place where a lot of creative energy is, and that's SoundCloud. So you go on SoundCloud, simple Sad Boy Seas, you just put that into the search, or you follow the links on my Instagram or my Twitter, and that's where everything is neatly organized for you. And that's where all the music is.
And how do people get to you on Instagram and Twitter?
Sure, so you go to Sad Boy Seas, which is SADBOIISEEZ, and that's on every social media platform. One word.
Why Sad Boy though?
So the Sad Boy comes from internet culture.
Yeah.
So the type of music that's associated with Sad Boy is emotional trap, I'd say. Your Triple X Tentaciones, your Ski Master Slump Gods, your Trippy Reds, those type of people. That emo trap type music. And I'm a person who likes laughing. And I'm invested a lot in meme culture. You see, so internet meme culture is it delves a lot into the Sad Boy aesthetic, which is the use of pastel colors, making those types of memes. And the music that I make, a lot of people would say it's for sad boys because it gets in touch with your feelings. It forces you to confront feelings that aren't pleasant. So things like coming into your focus, things like losing control with yourself, things like questioning whether someone actually values you as a person. Those aren't happy feelings. So it's sad boy music. So I couldn't just say C's because that's either too simple or too generic.
Yeah.
So I had to make it somewhere it's recognizable, and like there's only one Sad Boy Seas on Instagram, and that's me. So it makes your brand, as far as branding goes, it makes your brand visible. Like when you say AKA worldwide, see, it's a brand now, but his name is AKA.
So, okay. My question to this is probably gonna be my last question. Okay. What is it that you can say to someone out there, a young someone who wants to start the music journey?
Maybe not even music journey, but like literally anything in life who wants to go into their own truth.
Yeah.
I would say there's one of my favorite quotes. It comes from an old movie. Well, it's old to me because I'm a young person, but it's a baseball movie, and the quote is, "If you build it, they will come."
Yeah.
And the expansion on that is, don't expect instant gratification. So when you start a journey and you feel like, damn, this is not working, people aren't like, so for example, a music journey, when you first start and you have like 5 downloads that whole week, and you say to yourself, should I really even be doing this? The quote says, if you build it, they will come. So if you work hard enough on your craft, and if you show people that you take yourself seriously, people are going to take you seriously in return. So
True.
if you are as passionate about what you're doing and as passionate about yourself as you expect other people to be, then you can only get that in return. You can't be putting in half the work and expecting everyone else to be fully invested in you. People only get involved in things that they've been told to get involved in. Like you only, I guess, take an artist seriously once you see them on TV, because you need someone else to say, no, this person is serious about their thing. So if you don't take yourself seriously and build your brand, build your dream, work on your idea, then people can't take it as seriously as you want them to. So yeah, if you build it, they will come. So build yourself up and people will join you.
Okay. Sandy, thank you for coming through. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much. That's it from us, from the Erudition Show team. We are coming back to you next week Thursday with gems of wisdom, gems of love, and yeah, we love you so much. Thank you so much.